So Blighty, on Friday had a really privileged moment. You were honoured at Adelaide Oval with your own statue unveiling. Can you tell us about the day and what it meant to you and your family?
Yeah, Josh, it was a terrific day in Adelaide. The SUNS put on a great function and a great ceremony, and a really good friend of mine, Bruce McAvaney, great broadcaster, grew up in Woodville where I did in Adelaide. He actually did all the notes about me and took the veil, unveiled it, and there I was, this magnificent structure. The artists were there. Yeah, it was a lot of people, and it was a very proud moment.
You've achieved a lot in footy, obviously, but what's your most cherished moment? What's something that you look back on and you're most fond of?
Yeah, look, I've been pretty lucky, really, you know, with the premierships and some medals and awards and all that, but I still go back to my first game. You know, when you're a kid growing up and you play for the team you barrack for, I mean, that first game, you know, at Woodville all those years ago, I can still feel the tingle in my body of running out on the ground. So, as much as I've had some other ones that are very, very close, of course, probably that first game.
What do you remember of that day? Can you take us back?
Not much. It was, if people know Adelaide, they know Glenelg, and it was at Adelaide Oval. It was a famous spot, probably the most famous beach in Adelaide, and that's where their team played, and I played actually full forward in my first game as a skinny kid, and ended up managing 3 goals. We got beat, but yeah, 3 goals in your first game, and that was the start of it.
You've been associated with a lot of different clubs, both playing and coaching. Yeah. You've had a lot of success. Is there one that resonates most with you, or is it just all part of your footy journey? Yeah,
I think it's just a tapestry of M. Blight. You know, I call it that. Every one of them, someone said to me, "Who do you barrack for?" Well, it's a bit like having 5 or 6 kids. You know, they're always your children, and you don't favour any, hopefully. But I suppose, you know, being fortunate enough to play at North Melbourne in the premierships, coaching the Crows, coaching Geelong to grand finals, and as I said, just starting at Woodville, being able to do that. And I was pretty lucky. I played for 2 clubs, one in Adelaide and one in Melbourne, and I ended up coaching both of them, which is most unusual. So that was a bit of a thrill too.
Adelaide Oval's really grown in the last few years since it's been redeveloped. How important was that redevelopment for footy in South Australia? Look,
it got to the stage where Football Park down at West Lakes was terrific for 40 years, but it needed help. You know, it was starting to get an old site, old grandstands and that. So to make the move back into town has just reinvigorated Adelaide for all those that know it. Yeah, it's just a great place to go, great watching, and the atmosphere is enormous.
Just lastly, you mentioned your wife and your family during your ceremony on Friday, and you said that was such an important part of your journey.
Yeah.
How important were they? You know, you've had a lifetime in footy.
Yeah, yeah. Good on you. That was, yeah, look, it has been. You'd hate to think you'd do it alone. You know, we have had a family, and my wife's been terrific. So a lot of support around, and I guess when you get to my age, when you look back, you will one day too, and you'll think, oh gee, all those people you've met and been introduced to, and and really like or fell in love with, it's just that mine's been a bit more public than most, but I think everyone's got that in them to really enjoy their family.
Malcolm Blight, it's a big kick, it's a